Reverend Ron. I am Reverend Ron. Welcome to my ministries. Will you come along, help me make the change we need for prosperity? No noise from the left, no noise from the right. Propaganda meant to distract and lie. Criminals we elect enslave your life through work to grave. Become part of the change for future need. Hypocrites, false prophets, and greeds are not the way in, 'cause we'll all get proven wrong. But we'll all carry on and light up the dawn. Will you come along? Do the God you fear know the stuff you hear from those who claim to speak for them? You know it's not true, so what do you do?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Reverend Ron's Ministry podcast. I am Reverend Ron. Well, I guess tonight we're going to be talking about
what sacrifice can you give?
Well, the British are coming. The British are coming. Hey, everyone. The British are coming. Let me remind you of a time back in early American history when America was just a renegade outlaws organizing for their independence. Paul Revered went through and he was saying to folks, the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. There's a poem and all that stuff. Google it. My point is anybody worried that Trump's firing all the heads, all the leadership in the Pentagon? You know, normally you don't care, but he's contesting everything. He's spreading all the fake news. He's having a lot of support with his enablers. And this is not an anti-Trump message, folks. I'm anti both people. I hate the systems that were underneath, so you can't call me one or the other. You can admit that I hate them both. When I use the word hate, I'm talking about the corruption side. I'm talking about the side that only corporations matter, where we can make up money, just poof it out of the air for corporations, but we can't do it for people. Okay, so Trump fired the Department of Defense secretary. Then a short time later, he just fired the Pentagon Policy Making Board Committee, or whatever they call themselves. They make policy. These guys are usually kind of the real thing. You know, they know about a little something about leadership, and they're actually somewhat loyal to the country. But then Trump starts replacing them with what they call loyalists. All right, so I was in the military for 4 years. I know something about it a little while ago, but, you know, still the military. Although they look a lot scarier today than they did back then, let me tell you, man. Our city cops look scarier than we did back then. But here's the thing. Let me paint a picture for you. January 20th, 12:01 comes in and Joe Biden looks all pretty. And Trump says, I ain't going anywhere. What are you doing here? Get off my land. Trespass this motherfucker. His loyalists order the generals to do just that. Now, the loyal ones that have taken an oath and understand their oaths will resign, say, I can't follow an unlawful order. I don't recognize you as president. Goodbye, whatever. I don't know. They won't do it. But they will immediately fill the spot with somebody who will. So there will be no shortages of loyalists. If you remember Nazi Germany, there weren't just a couple Germans shooting at Americans. There were a bunch of them. So there's a few folks talking about it, and unfortunately, where I see it, it's mostly on internet news, which is the wave of the future. I've checked out sites on the CNNs and even Fox News, and no one's talking about this. Just like they're not talking about the 900,000 people striking in India right now. Striking in India, 900 million people. Conditions over there are that bad. I'm not going to say much more about this. Other than, you know what? The British are coming. The British are coming. The British are coming. I've written my Congress lady and my senators, my mayor, my garbage man, the dog catcher. And I said, hey, I'm concerned, and gave them the exact reasons I explained to you. So I don't know what to do. So God bless. Stand by. We're going to talk about some more stuff when we return. Thank you for listening. I hope that didn't sound too weird. But everything I just said is in the newspapers, folks. It is true. It's my conclusions. I'm not saying it's going to happen. But I'm saying we should be talking about something, and just in case. And I'm not hearing anything from the Democrats. So peace and love. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back to the Reverend Ministries podcast. Thank you for coming back, and I hope you've enjoyed the show so far. So, why do I talk about politics a lot? If I'm a reverend, why do I talk about politics? Well, there's a large following that are following evil that claim to be Christian. Now, are they doing it on purpose? Well, I think they're doing it on purpose. The problem is they think they're doing it for righteous reasons. Have you ever been caught in a fog and you just think you're doing right, and then all of a sudden you just realize what you've been doing was wrong, and it's just an epiphany. It just comes to you. It's apparent. Once the truth is out, it won't take long to get it out. But it takes a lot of truth to overcome a little bit of lie. So, I'm doing my little part. I'm trying to build a little following, bring a little different approach to the same discussion. A different format, maybe, where you can actually participate, versus watching talking heads on television. But what can we do? What can we do to make the change? How can we, you and me, unite? Okay, well, first of all, we need leadership, right? Just think about that. And what is leadership? It doesn't mean you stand in the middle of the country in Oklahoma and say, I'm the leader. No. Leader is just starting to form little groups of 2 or 3, start to talk to folks respectfully, of course. But let them know that universal health care is not turning the country into socialism, communism. And the biggest joke of them all is the following that follow Trump the elders are so anti-social, socialism, but they're all on Medicare. They're on what we all want to get on. but they don't want to share it. How American is that? But we're paying their taxes. We're paying for their health care, we taxpayers. And I don't have a problem with that. My problem exists because we're not sharing the love. So I say to my friends who believe in the teachings to, start diving back in and start. It's a wonderful book, I guess, if you just, it kind of helps you ground yourself. Trump's lawyer said somebody should be murdered, and he said it very violently. Come on now, that's not Christian. I'll be right back. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming back to my show, the Reverend Ministries podcast. And once again, I am Reverend. I need to make a correction in something I said earlier. When I said in India, there was 900 million folks striking, I incorrectly stated that number. It is actually somewhere around 225 million, somewhere in there. Still a lot of folks. And be prepared when it comes our way. It's coming. The wind is blowing. But right now, I want to talk about what to do about what happens if that is true. What happens if the military somehow sides with Trump. And then, the police plus the militia that so much love him. Or does that leave the rest of us? I don't know. I think we need to start making plans, folks. Government is failing us. So we need to start making allies amongst our little sphere of influences, right? That way, somehow we can help each other out. It's going to be back in the old days, folks. They're going to cut off the internet. We won't have this massive internet structure that we have now. News is bad for authoritarian government. So, and the Democrats aren't any better. They're not saying anything. They're not even talking about it. On one hand, they're saying the American people are strong enough to handle the truth, and then they start hiding it, and then they create doubt. And I really don't doubt my brothers and sisters on the right sometimes, because they believe, just as the Democrats think Fox News is full of crap, they think the rest, each one thinks each one's full of crap. So one has to ask yourself, what should I do? Well, here, let's go back. I heard a story once of a man who put himself in front of a prostitute when a town gathered to stone her for her crime of prostitution. They were going to kill her. This man said, hey, He who without sin cast the first stone. And the stone would have hit him because he was actually, I don't know if he's in the way. It's a story. But it makes good, okay? The point is, you know, this passive Christian thing where you don't speak up when you see wrong. Remember, you have to ask yourself, what would Jesus do? Thanks for joining Reverend Ron's Ministry podcast. We'll see you next time. Become part of the change for future need. Hypocrites, false prophets, angry. I'd like to thank freesound.org. We use a lot of their materials. Non-profit organization. If you're an artist looking for some different ways to enhance your projects, I suggest you go visit them. www.freesound.org. If you'd like to be a guest or maybe an amateur reporter with a story, would like to get a story published, contact us as Reverend Ron Ministries at gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. Jesus said, give to the poor, love thy neighbor. Love you, brothers and sisters. You all take care. Stay safe and love one another. What sacrifice can you give for the future of mankind? This is Reverend Ron's Ministry. I am Reverend Ron. I am Reverend Ron. I am Reverend Ron. This is Reverend Ron Ministries podcast. Reverend Ron Ministries, LLC.